Friday, December 3rd, 1700 Zulu. Major coalitions in the game formed for a Fortizar timer in Venal belonging to Boss. However, this quickly escalated into numbers I have not seen since the days of World War B2. This is a quick story about a seemingly unimportant Fortizar, a Mexican standoff between the largest coalitions in the game, some bad weather, and apparently some guy who just wants to do his Carista's epic arc in peace. Oh, and if you're new here, remember to like and subscribe. On grid with us today was approximately 500 friendly, heavy assault cruisers, mostly in Eagles and Zealots, and Onyx heavy interdictors, and a combined fleet of 270 Paladins and Force Auxiliaries from Pandemic Horde and Pandemic Legion. Standing by in the Fortizar was a combined carrier and super carrier fleet of Fraternity and Pandemic Horde, with fighters providing a kill zone on top of the Paladins in case the hacks decide to drop in close. We'll get back to the capitals later. Also on grid with us was some bad weather. A strong metaliminal plasma firestorm has some fierce consequences to turret weaponry. The Paladins, being a Tachyon beam fit, already has some tracking issues and will now face 50% reduction in turret tracking but a 50% bonus to damage. And additionally, the enemy fleet will most likely be afterburner fitted, keeping their signature radius small and much harder to hit. And I also suspect that every enemy heavy assault cruiser will most likely have at least 1 or 2 tracking disruptor equipped to further take advantage of this. This will affect carrier-based fighters as well, as their damage application is based on fighter explosion radius and not turret tracking. This basically summarizes to giving smaller ship classes significant damage bonus against larger ones. But with the armor bonus, it should also give the Paladins a significant effective armor bonus of somewhere north of 350,000 effective hit points. Talk about thick. As the Paladins moved into firing range of the Fortizar, the Imperium and friends began arriving in numbers. We have the usual sacrilege, fitted as expected, with dual tracking disruptors, afterburners, and scramblers to keep us from micro-jump driving away. Zealots were next, again with dual tracking disruptors, and finally Eagles, which were standard fit with afterburners. In total, there were nearly 1,200 enemy heavy assault cruisers on grid. And as the armor timer on the Fortizar ticked down, and the 2 massive fleets stared each other down, it was looking like nothing was going to happen, so I decided to talk some shit. In an M. Night Shyamalan twist, the Imperium and friends decided to go for the supers. And because their fighters were out, the capital fleet were not tethered, and as 1,000 heavy assault cruisers landed on them, interdiction sphere were laid down between the return path of the fighters so that they could not immediately return to their tubes. And with that, the capitals were not able to tether, and gave enough time for the heavy interdictors to point them, which ultimately prevents tethering. Chaos ensued, and an all-you-can-eat buffet of Force Auxiliaries was on the menu. We had to find a way to navigate out of the interdiction sphere and be able to move together as a group without the risk of being split up and getting picked off by the enemy doomstack. After what felt like an hour, we arrive on grid with the capital fleet and began disassembling the enemy fleet.
Do your best to make sure your MWD is on. Alright, there's going to be a couple targets coming in. If they ever come through. You need to shoot them in order, so in is first. Has anybody locked anything?
Most of us are out of
Says
range.
it's locked.
neutral.
There we go. Yeah, they're freaking dead. Yeah, that's good.
I just get to see a locked target, then it go boom. I
Our
never
broadcast a
get my
couple more.
guns.
Just keep trying to lock them. It takes forever to lock. Yeah, whoever you can lock. They're all pretty much dead by the time I can get them locked.
Everyone put your drones out. If you have drones, put
Drop
them out.
drones and put them on tackle. Scroll out a little bit. Watch for mass yellow boxes. You have to broadcast earlier. You don't have a prayer of getting. I mean, really, you don't have a prayer of getting reps anyway.
To be honest, I didn't capture too much more footage after this, as my damn modules were not activating due to tie-dye. And due to my lack of judgment, I decided to dock up and relog, which took like an hour. And with that, I decided to call it quits and went to a concert instead. Overall, it was a pretty insane brawl, with the facts keeping the enemies interested, and both sides losing nearly 40% of his hack fleet, while the Marauder fleet had only suffered 7 losses out of 287. Them boys be tanky indeed. I haven't seen a farm up like this in a long time, and had forgotten how awful tie-dye was. I really hope that one guy was able to finish this epic arc. Anyways, thanks for watching. Enjoy the pretty lights.